Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
Anyone have neurospace RNS? Hello, all. 22-year-old daughter. My 22-year-old daughter had a neurospace RNS implant done mid-May of this year. It was activated at the end of June. She is not due for an adjustment until September. If anyone has this, do you experience taser-like pain that affects your arms or legs? Have you ever reached out to our rep and she stated it would be unusual for this to malfunction? She is more apt to believe in the reintervention. It is disturbing to see the shocks happen and then the tremoring of her arms and legs. Any sharing experiences appreciated. The child is feeling shocked, so the doctor's saying they're not telling the truth, is what I feel like that said. Did anyone else?
I'm wondering, how do they know when she's even getting shocked? I can understand if, she's feeling the shocks, but because they ask every time they adjust it, do you feel this? But if daughter is having reactions, how do they know that those jerks or those motions are a result of the shocks? I was under the impression every time they do an adjustment that they ask if you can feel it to make sure you can. So that definitely sounds like a sooner than September visit.
Is it literally like touching your brain?
I don't feel it, but I know that's what it is. I mean, that's what the images show. I have the rods though that go in. I don't have the ones that are on the surface. And yeah, it's a craniotomy, so that it's definitely touching a brain.
Yeah. I just imagine like a chip on the back of the head, but of course that isn't the thing. This is an iRobot. I understand. Just I should look it up one day. Anyhow,
Well, it feels different on both sides too. That's what I was always curious about. On the right side, it definitely feels more like a, convex, like it goes in, but then on the left side, it feels like it's kind of poking out. So, I don't know. We'll see what they say when they go in to change a battery. If everything's in place.
okay. Seizure due to shock. My father-in-law passed away today. My sister-in-law is extremely upset and kept crying the whole time. She has not taken her meds properly for about 3 days as well. She suddenly got a seizure and fainted during the funeral. She has never got seizures before. What can be her reason for this? And can she get another one again? Has she got to go see a neuro? That's all there was. I thought she was gonna say like shock, like electrocute. Due to shock. No one have anything to say? Come on, guys.
Wow, she sounds very in a very bad place. This girl, if she's not taking her meds, and because of the emotional troubles with the death of her father, maybe she needs to see a therapist or something, because she needs to take her medicine. Something to get through to her. I mean, 'cause, yeah, that's the bottom line. She needs to take her medicine.
Okay. Someone said she could have just fainted. That said, seizures are often induced by stress and other strong emotions. Also, as mentioned by Doc Brown, above, many people will have one or two seizures during their lifetimes. This is not indicative of a seizure disorder. She should see her physician. However, the doctor will decide if she needs to see a specialist. If she already has a neuro for some other condition, then go ahead and make an appointment.
Did I miss something? This is an epileptic, right?
Yes, this is.
Okay, all right. I need to make sure.
So what else says most people have at least one seizure in their lifetime. You must have two seizures that are unprovoked to be diagnosed with epilepsy. She'll most likely never have another one again, being that she is in high stress environment like a funeral. It could be something called POTS. It's like a seizure, but without the bad brain waves. I'm no neurologist, so I really don't know what I'm talking about.
I wonder why people have that idea that most people will have a seizure in their lifetime. I've never been advised of that by any professional.
I've had two seizures at funerals, and they were at the same church, just different years. Might have been something about the church. But I feel so low. This shit is affecting my job. I'm a cashier. It's not hard. It's not a hard job. It just requires a lot of talking and some repetitive motions. I have multiple focal seizures and just end up staring at a customer. I had to drop out of college because I couldn't do my schoolwork since I would have multiple a week. Still doing medication roulette. I'm so done. I feel like such a burden and stressing my boyfriend out and my best friend and my employers. I don't know what to do. I feel so alone. I effing hate this so much. I need some money and I want to live. Can someone help me? I had a job as a cashier and I didn't get fired for having seizures. They were always trying to keep me at the register and keep going, and didn't understand that part, but I don't know where I went with this. Yeah, try not to lose your job. I don't know if specifically having seizures too much might, but I was having a decent amount.
What might happen is, like, I used to work at a casino, and they just drop and drop and drop your hours until one day you're living across the country and you're getting a call saying, "Hey, can you come into work?" Even though you haven't been there in 2 years because they wouldn't let you come back. It's like, I know it's Christmas, but I live in North Carolina now. I can't I can't hop a plane. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I think I'm muted. I don't know.
They're not muted.
Oh, I'm not? Okay, good.
No.
Then you heard all that because I don't remember what I said.
Was it good pay?
Uh, if the customers were nice.
Okay.
Yeah. You're nervous. I used to work as a the prostitution's legal out in Nevada and Vegas, the County area. So yeah, it was easy money
Wait,
as long as I
what?
didn't, fall off the stage.
You were on stage?
What do you think a stripper does?
What? Didn't know
And
all
I
that.
can,
We can.
well, yeah, and then if this one's particularly nice, you take him to the back room. I was
Okay.
homeless. I had to make money somehow.
Right. So impending doom. It's actually such a disgusting feeling. I was pacing around my flat, whimpering and shaking for about 20 minutes and had a buzzing in my ears. My partner is autistic and finds it hard when others are distressed, so I felt even more anxious. Couldn't even couldn't even understand a word he was saying. When he did try to comfort me, all I could do was put my hands on him and cry. I'm not sure if this was a seizure or just plain anxiety. I'm only starting to recognize what my focal seizures manifest as. Praying today is a better day for me and hope everyone else understands and can give me advice based on your experiences. I haven't had the impending doom, but I have heard someone say it before. Um,
Oh,
I'm assuming,
they need a hug. Oh yeah. Hand going around your heart and just squeezing and squeezing this universe, sky, earth, all the array. It's about to gone. And somehow it's your fault and it's all gonna come down on your head. You can mute me anytime you wish.
no, you're all right. Just hoping somebody else said something, but come on, Angel.
Twisted said, Twisted said it earlier tonight that she had that feeling of impending doom. I don't know what it feels like, but I told her to get safe.
It's the worst feeling on the planet. I'd rather have fallout seizure than those. They just wish it, yeah.
Okay. Got something here. It says, any other epileptics have trouble distinguishing between dream and memory? I've had this issue for a long time. I got a lot worse 2 weeks ago when I had my first seizure in about 3 years. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even had the thought to entertain the idea the two might be related. It's nothing big, usually, mainly just conversations that I think happened but didn't, or vice versa. But yeah, anyone else experience this? How do I deal? Right, because now I try to avoid saying, remember when? Because no, they don't remember. It didn't happen. LOL. Yeah, I've been through that where somebody was like, no, that did not happen. And I was like, are you sure? It was like, let me call them. Let me remind you. So it was a 2 versus 1, and I had to give in because my memory is bad, and it was two of them versus just me. We didn't go there, and we didn't do that. I forgot specifically what it was, but yeah, I lost that argument.
It happens a lot. Um, I'll say it was like this, and they say no, it wasn't like that. Like I'll describe it to a T and how my memory remembers it, and it wasn't like that at all. And sometimes I think when it happened around my wife, I think she was trying to gaslight me too. You know, trying to say no, it's a false memory. I'm like, no, I remember this, and I'm like,
Semi-true stories. Believe it or not, it's a Jimmy song. Some things I made up because some things I forgot. But the living and the telling are both real to me, and you put it together for a semi-true story.
Well said.
yep.
I guess you could say all memories are lies from a certain point of view. Um, yeah, it's definitely true. Because every time you remember them, a memory changes, and it's very difficult. And the person I go to always is my mom. I ask her for a backup, on these things. And what's so weird about this is I checked up what she said and figured she was wrong too. I know she's not lying. She would never lie to me. She's the most honest person in the universe, and she's good. But she was wrong. I remembered something wrong, and nobody like. And we were talking about losing friends earlier, and how do we ever know what's really empirically accurate? It's so difficult. And the further we go back in time, it's even more difficult to remember these things accurately. How did these situations occur? I don't know. Whoa, what a difficult situation this is, the memory problem.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things about epilepsy or adapting to it is forgetting about ever really recovering the past. Unless it's my own account, written down, then it was just such a waste of time ever asking other people who are around. Because, like you said, nobody ever really gets it right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
Except for my mom. My mom does. Because she has the memory of an elephant. Holy crap.
One of the comments from this says, I feel like minds mixed together. It can usually cause an aura for me. A dream I had days ago will randomly come to me, but it feels like a memory. Oops, my aura is my cat. I meant aura. I guess her cat is named Aura. Someone said, at my lowest points, I find it so incredibly difficult to distinguish dreams from reality. You're not alone. I pray mine don't get that bad. I have something similar, like deja vu feelings and feel sick and nauseous. I also recall these weird dreams that do the same. They have weird theme of dragons usually. It's Spiral the Dragon, LOL, or things seem like the graphics, like game graphics. Someone else said, I am with you there. I always have been a lucid dreamer, but I had my worst group of seizures in the last 2 years, in the last 2 months. Normally, I can do whatever I want while dreaming. Since those seizures, I've had nothing but nightmares where I'm trying to survive. I have always had memory struggles following seizures, but I don't know how to react to the current drama in my dreams. I lost my Keppra pill bottle. I'm currently traveling in Europe, and I think I lost one of my Keppra pill jars. I have epilepsy and take Keppra 1,000 milligrams twice a day, and lamotrigine 100 milligrams twice a day. Before leaving, I brought 2 bottles of Keppra with me. One was already halfway used, the other was brand new bottle. I bought both because I wanted to finish the open one, but unfortunately, I have lost the new full bottle. I put the full bottle in one of my bags, but I've traveled to different places within a week. I've lost track of my medicine. I still have a half used one, so I have a little time, but I'm worried about running out while I'm still abroad. I know I'll likely need to get a local prescription, but I'm not exactly sure how this works here or how urgent I need it to act. Now I'm scared. I'll get a tonic clonic sometime soon. I haven't had one in over a year, so it would be horrible if I had one again. Has anyone else dealt with getting epilepsy medication abroad before? Any tips on how I should go about it quickly and safe? I do not have the original bottles with labels showing my name and dosage, etc., if that helps. My advice is go to the emergency room. I'm not sure how that works, but it's worth a try.
Yeah.
Not hard to help without knowing what country.
I think it said traveling around Europe, currently traveling in Europe.
Europe, I know, has, or the, huh. They had universal health care. Oh crap, or was that just Great Britain? Crap, I don't remember.
Yeah, but that's different. That's if you live there. I don't know how. I honestly, if it were me, I would start at a pharmacy because the pharmacist may be able to tell you what steps you need to take. I would start at a pharmacy and see if they could help. Um, yeah, damn, I don't know what I would do.
Right, especially abroad. Yeah, I say start at the pharmacy. If not, ask a doctor at the emergency room what they suggest. I haven't been abroad without medication. I haven't been abroad yet, so. Um, Hypnosis and epilepsy. My husband has epilepsy. He also suffers from addiction to alcohol. In addition to that, he's dealing with the major stress factors with work and just having epilepsy in general. He started seeing a new therapist just in the past Friday who brought up the idea of hypnosis to help with his stress and addiction. I'm curious if anyone else in these groups with epilepsy has ever heard of hypnotherapy before and if it triggered more seizures or if they have been helpful. There are no comments, and I'm hoping someone else has been through this hypnotherapy.
I've heard of it before, and I think the person that got it done got trauma brought out to them, and it made it worse for that person.
I only received I guess you could kind of call it hypnotherapy in the middle of a horse field in Illinois by this lady who said that she was going to burp out all of my demons and energy and bad energy and stuff and take on all of my demons and let them out through her burps. So we sat there, her and I, with me on a stool and her on a stool, while she held hands with me and burped in the middle of a field with horses. And I ended up getting the flu later that week. So I don't know what happened, but I didn't have any success with that burp hypnotherapy. So I don't know if I'd recommend it, but you know, it was definitely like something that they were not able to zap out of my brain with the ECT. I'll never forget that experience. That sits with me very deeply. That was something else.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Was exorcised of demons when I was
It's the
like
horsewoman.
17.
Yeah.
I had a seizure and at a church. I was going with my girlfriend at the time. And of course, I'm also very, very allergic to metals. And they put the crucifix on my forehead. It starts getting red. You know what they thought, right? It was working.
Imagine if they saw this. Imagine if they saw this.
Yeah.
How did you guys not have a seizure during the exorcism?
So I did. That's the thing.
Okay.
I had the seizure, and then they tried to exorcise the demon out of me while I was having a damn seizure.
I wanted to just because I'm interested in it, and I'm open to a lot of different types of things. I've never quite understood how people get to that point with the exorcisms. So I've always wanted to try one out myself. and have one done and see if I actually start to seize or anything, or if it's all just a hoax. And I am totally prepared for them to get mad at me and stuff. And I'm totally prepared for the mafia to come at me because I definitely want to do it like in Italy or Rome or something where like that shit is like super common and like talked about. I want to do it in its home and I want to get it done in Rome, Italy, that rhymes. But yeah, I want to get an exorcism done and see what happens.
Let's get it together.
Okay. Slay! We can bonding girl trip.
Why not?
Bonding, getting
Yes.
exorcisms. I love that.
Okay.
You let me know.
Oh, I'm ready. I just got to get the money to pay for the exorcism because I'm sure it's costly.
No, they don't charge.
Oh, wow. They probably should for my demons. I might give them a tip. Just in case.
No, the way,
Honestly, I might give them an extra piece of bread or something. Like, here's an extra piece of loaf. You can give it
the
out,
way
you
that
know?
it works, they, you have to go to whatever your church, plays.
I don't have a church. My family, okay, so my family is like from where I come from, my roots, um, they're Lutheran. My grandma's Lutheran. And I actually looked up what that is today, and it's not as bad as I thought. Seems pretty chill. I didn't read too much on it, honestly. I just read like the overview of it.
Just
Um,
go to
Always
a
been the
Catholic.
token Jew of the area.
wait, Lutherans are Jewish?
No, no, me.
Lutherans aren't Jewish. That's like a thing. It's like it's a different version of Catholicism or something. It's like
Oh,
from
maybe I'm
what
thinking
I
Messianic Jews. Yeah.
from what I read about
Third.
Lutheranism or whatever, Lutheran, it's basically like following the word of Jesus Christ and Joseph. I don't know. I obviously I'm not Lutheran, but my family was. And they just basically wanted to spread the word of Jesus. They didn't want to force it on nobody. They never forced it on me.
Yeah, I love God. God is good.
Yeah, I think personally I never had like a bad experience with like I don't identify as Lutheran or Catholic or anything, but I have my own connection with what I perceive as my own like God, and I refer to it as like the universe.
Spiritualism. I love it.
Well, I'm not really spiritual. Like I don't really do any of the
Oh, no, I don't mean like that. I mean like your religion's in your bones. It's
yeah,
not a
yeah,
script. It's just
yeah.
there.
Like it's not
It's you.
sculpted from a book. I never like took it from a book or anything. Like I never read it. I kind of built it around myself and what morals I deemed right and wrong, and like a big thing that I like densely populates my mind is like don't litter. Just don't litter. There's so many trash cans available. There's so many places to put your trash. Don't litter. You don't have to litter. There's no reason for me to litter. Don't litter. And if I litter, then karma does her thing and she's going to come back and let me know like, "Hey, you littered on, the grounds of the earth." And I don't know. I guess I'm just like I'm very like earthly and stuff, but I never want to come across as like trying to make fun of a religion, but I genuinely want to try getting an exorcism. I'm not like Catholic or anything. I just want to try it out, see if it works.
It's an experience. I recommend it.
I just want to try it. I think that, and you know what? If it works, then maybe the Pope's got me. I don't know. Maybe I'll be. I don't know.
This is a really psychological thinking here, but a lot of people need a big something happening before they can take the next step along their life, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, because I have no clue what is going on.
My life is made up of lots of little lives that I've experienced. My life as a child, my life as a teenager, my life under my ex-husband, my life now. They're all different people, but they still make up me. And
That's how I do it.
but sometimes those little deaths are there before the next person comes up.
Yeah. Like sometimes I find myself missing like who I was before I got diagnosed and treated for epilepsy and started taking it seriously, and I sometimes miss who I was before receiving ECT. But then I remind myself that that person was like high all the time and in trap houses and making bad decisions and stuff like that. And it really took the ECT to snap my mind out of that addict threshold and manic episode that I was in for like 2.5 years. And then I was finally able to take my epilepsy seriously, and which is great. Left me really depressed, but
It's a victory.
Step.
There's always a bright side somewhere.
Well, it's not like a magic. I mean, mental health's the same as epilepsy. There's no magic cure for it. Just because you find something doesn't mean it makes
Don't make me start singing Monty Python at you. So I will. Always look on the bright side of life. Life's a piece of shit. But when you look at it, death's a laugh and life's a joke. It's true. And I forgot the rest of the words.
Religious classes. That's really interesting.
I got something here. It says, am I wrong for thinking I shouldn't get treated like this? I had tonic-clonic seizure and I was hospitalized early 2025. I actually called transportation to arrange for getting myself to the ER ahead of time for my physical health, knowing I was going to have serious health effects from prepping for another medical procedure, one being severe dehydration. On the way to the ER, I had several severe tonic-clonic seizures. I didn't even realize I made it to the hospital until I partially restored consciousness hours later and was in the hospital bed. Now, apparently, my father decided to call my brother and sister-in-law to have them come visit me while I'm the inpatient. I wouldn't have wanted this, but my father makes some irrational decisions regarding my health anyway. My father being an alcoholic doesn't help. After I got authorized to leave the hospital, I was still not fully aware in my postural state. I guess, according to my brother, I said some rude things to my sister-in-law. No idea what I said, not yet, and have no memory of what I could have said. They didn't even tell me what I told them. In case I called my brother recently and I didn't even realize I said anything. during the episode until he said so. He requested I apologize to my sister in law. I felt no need to do so, given what I went through and how I feel, how I had no awareness of what I was going through and doing or saying at the time. I apologized anyway to my sister in law. Decided to get very grouchy to me about it. She was telling me about her PTSD and my brother's bipolar and everything they've gone through together. I hung up the phone after she was getting into feeling like belittling me and deciding I needed to read her tone. Read her tone is in quotes. And be empathetic is in quotes. To her, she sounded harsh. I have no words for that other than that just was treated very unfairly given what I went through and what happened in my seizure. And neither my brother or sister in law seem to care. That impacts my state of consciousness, emotions, feelings, and everything. I'm not talking to them now, and I don't have any real desire. Am I at fault for feeling like I shouldn't have been compelled to apologize for something I said and have no memory of saying while recovering from a loss of consciousness episode? Are you guys apologizing or not? That's the question.
No.
No? Straight up? Nope. It's over.
I'd probably apologize just to maintain peace, but you shouldn't. If you expect empathy, you shouldn't be pushing for it. If that makes no, that's not making sense. It sounds like this relative of hers wants all the empathy but doesn't want to give any back.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, yes, I would ordinarily try to explain my situation, but it sounds like these people are more interested in explaining, forcing their victimization upon the person with epilepsy here. You know, oh, look at me, I have bipolar and everything. I know, but it just seems everyone has their own, you know, gar their own garbage to deal with, and that doesn't sound like something I want to deal with. And if that's an apology or something, look, just get that crap out of my face. You know what I'm talking about. Um, so uh, don't tell me about your own problems because I just don't care. Um, but I'm I know this is a paradox here, but I want to be empathetic. But if you're gonna yell at me with your problems, just get the fuck out of my face. All right? I'm not gonna apologize to you while you're trying to shove your problems down my face. Now, I'm tired. It's 11 o'clock, okay? I'm out of gas.
You're good. You're good.
What did you say, Toaster?
I was telling him that he was fine. Everyone runs out of gas.
Mm,
That's why we have gas stations.
mm.
They sell coffee.
That's why we have cookies. But I get what you're saying, Kevin. It's almost like it's a grand competition. And, I know a lot of people that I just I just want a diagnosis. I just want to know. And I get that. We all do, especially us. We wanted to know what was going on. But now that we found out, it's like, oh shit. But at the same time, we have a diagnosis. And I've had people in my life actually be jealous of that if that makes any sense. Because it's like, oh yeah, you have an excuse for your behavior. I'm like, what behavior? And I don't need an excuse. And it's usually coming from somebody who does, because their behavior is so antisocial and inappropriate, that they're jealous that, I'll get a seizure and I can say or do something that I don't know about. And my excuse is that I had a seizure. And it's like, well, I have this and I have that, but I can't use that as an excuse, kind of thing. But I know I get the same feeling, Kevin. It's like, just F off with that. I get it, but I don't think enough. We all know that not enough people understand that epilepsy is a hell of a lot more than just the seizure. And, just something that I had to do today. I had to take my rescue meds, make sure the nurse knew how to use them, make sure the doctor knew all of that shit, and I'm like, I don't even want to have to do that. But it's just part of what we got. And I'm fading fast. But before I go, you guys on the West Coast, the entire West Coast, you're under warning for a tsunami. So depending on how close you are, please take shelter and let us all know you're okay. I already have friends that are going up and inland, and because they don't know where it's going to hit. It was an 8.8 earthquake in somewhere in Russia. My cousin is in Hawaii and they're already evacuating. So just be careful. Yep, the entire West Coast. So I want to be able to see you guys again Friday. Especially, yeah. So, but I'm fading fast, and it looks like Angel's taking a nap. I don't know. I can't tell.
Angel's taking a power nap.
Yeah, the power nap with his Power Ranger guy behind him. All right, guys. Hey, have a great night, and I will see you Friday.
See you Friday.
Night,
Thanks for
everybody.
coming by
Annie.
and
Night.
imparting your words of wisdom.
Kevin, along with what you said about the not apologizing thing, I think in certain situations it might not be necessary, but the situation where I recently walked into someone's home, the next day when I put all the pieces together, I went back and apologized because I went in his house and I walked right past him and I laid on that man's couch and everything, just all nonchalant. I could imagine how that looks to someone where you're just like
I would be
in their house and they're not sure why, just like, the hell are you doing? And
I'm sure like
nonchalantly lay on his couch. I had to apologize.
Well, clearly, in certain situations, yes, I think, yeah, an explanation is due, maybe, yeah. Um,
Yeah, I understand. Certain situations, that's necessary. Yeah, because I told him, I knew nothing about what I was doing. I was unsure what was going on.
a little humility goes a long way.
honestly, if you walked into my grandpa's house, he'd probably get confused and think you're like there to do some work or something and start chatting with you.
So, hey, everybody remember Hannah? We met her a couple days ago, last week. Just got a message that she got a TBI. She's in the ER waiting for an MRI and a CT. So, thoughts and prayers with Hannah tonight so that she gets what she needs. Supposed to keep us posted.
But yeah, I got something here. It says, I need some advice, guys. I had to stop taking my medication. It made me feel so foggy. I felt so sick. I just never felt good when I was taking them. My epilepsy isn't terrible. I stopped taking my medication a year or two ago, and I've only had, I think, 2 seizures. The thing is, I just turned 18 and I'm still having to live with my mom, and she doesn't know I stopped taking my meds. I know it's maybe not the smartest idea to stop taking my medication, but I can't stand how I feel on them. I don't feel right. I'm seeing my neurologist next week, and I don't know if I should tell my mom about my medications or if I should just talk about it with a neurologist. Again, I know not taking my medication could kill me, but when I was taking them, it made me most miserable I'd ever been. There's there was no outside pressure or ideas that gave me the idea to stop taking them. I decided to try not taking them for a bit, and it made me feel much better. I don't want to get into any trouble, but suicide attempts generally became a regular thing for me. That wasn't just the medication, it was just making a bad situation worse. But since stopping, I've only attempted once, which is a massive dip compared to the previous. I need some advice. I think I'm gonna be losing my mind. I think I'm gonna be losing my mind. Um, yeah.
Did they say what medication they were on?
No, they didn't. I was gonna say I just read it out loud.
Well,
No,
I'm gonna assume maybe it's Keppra.
I was gonna say the same, but
I would just call the neurologist and ask to switch to something else. And try a different medication. Because I know I was feeling when I was in, as recently diagnosed as I've been, and as I've taken the Keppra really, I've took it only like I don't know, it's been like a month or two, something like that. But when I was on it, it was having me the same way. So I would definitely request to have it changed because they can change it. And if you tell them that you're having thoughts of suicide or harming yourself, they will tell you that it is top priority and they will switch you off of that medication and onto a different one right away, as they should, or else they can get in legal trouble. And but don't stop the medication cold turkey like that. That's not good. That's not good. You can try a different one. I am trying the Breviact right now, and I don't have the Keppra Rage as often. I find that has lessened within the past week. Usually I'd be super rageful. So that has been pretty cool in my opinion.
Is it our barbiturate?
Breviact.
Oh.
They just moved me up to 75 milligrams.
I got some extra Briviact here for you if you want some.
Thank you.
Forgot how many milligrams.
I have a ton of meds in the basement that some are expired and some aren't, so who knows what effects you guys will get. But I think I have Depakote.
Yeah. I can't take it in my liver.
Yeah, no, that Depakote is scary. Wow.
That shit.
It gave me the best 3 years. I was seizure free for 3 years with Depakote, but I can't do it because of my liver.
Did that cause the liver thing?
No.
It can cause pancreatitis. That's really serious.
Yeah, I take the Depakote, and they gave me lots of warning. I was really close to having fatty liver disorder, and
Yeah.
yeah, so
You got to be really careful with that one
very,
because it's very strong in affecting the liver and stuff like that, which is why when I saw my neurologist, he was like, if the Breviac doesn't work, then we can try Depakote. And I was like, well, we're gonna keep trying the Breviac for a minute because I've been on Depakote for mental health before, and it made me feel dead. So I don't know what to
yeah.
do.
I'm on a lot of. I came back on to Depakote though, and I
Yeah,
found a good
you.
balance with diet. And but I gotta say my brain is dead right now. I'm taking 3 drugs that just knock your brain out,
Mm.
and
And
I'm
I feel
just
like with
yeah,
Depakote, like you would have to take it like maybe off and on during certain periods of time. I feel like it's not like something that you can just it's not really safe to take for like a long extended period of time. It can get kind of like it can really take a toll on your body. That one and it doesn't really stop taking a toll on your body, which is the really shitty part. And they all take a toll on your body, but Depakote's just really like potent in
very much. And
yeah,
I
it's
have
like
the
a bottle of
evidence to
Hennessy
prove it. Like
pill.
I joined sports leagues, and I was playing like a 80-year-old
Mm-hmm.
man. I just could not throw. Oh my God, it was so sad. Oh,
I
but
gained a lot of weight too when I was on it because I was like I also had a binge eating disorder, but I gained a lot of weight when I was on it.
but the good news is I'm lowering that, so I'm happy about that. You know,
That's good. Depakote's not a fun one, but it sucks because the ones that work have just as bad side effects.
that's true.
And
Like
it's
I'm on Topamax. They call that Dope Max. That I'm on one of the benzos too, and they all work so well for the
yeah,
myoclonics. And yeah, it's terrible that they
that's how I
just
feel
mess.
about the like I love the clonazepam, but I hate that it works so well because it's like not the best type of just drug in general to be on. Like benzos just aren't the best to be on for long
Yeah.
periods of time, and I know that I'll be on this for a long time, for what I will right now know as the rest of my life, because without it, I can't function, and it sucks. And then it also there's like that little tick in your head always that's like, what if something happens to the med supply? What if something happens to the med supply? I'm fucked. I'm genuine. I don't know what I'm gonna die. I don't know what I would do. I would die. I would literally die.
Huh.
So, and it makes me really feel for all the people in other countries and places like that that don't have access to medications and are going through war and stuff like that. Um, it's a really like they bring up so much about that stuff, but they don't bring up like the diseases and stuff that people had prior to any of the other stuff happening that now is leaving them in desperate times. And it's really sad because it's already hard to begin with. I have to take my medicine.
I appreciate hearing from others who managed to lose weight after being on, certain meds or a lot of meds.
I used to be
Did
200
it kind of
pounds.
happen? I mean, did it happen all on its own, or did you guys actually have to, stick to a plan after you got off?
Lufa, you said you were 200 pounds?
Yeah,
You don't look like you can hold that much.
I could send a picture in the chat. and you guys would probably love it. I'll try and look for one. I am very proud of all of my moments. But yeah, I was 200 pounds. I was on a lot of medication for mental health stuff, so it made me gain a lot of weight. I don't even know what I was on, but I was on like probably like 7 different drugs. And I was also drinking like 24 cans of Coke a day. And um, my mom had really bad anorexia. So in my head, I was eating for the both of us as well. So I would eat for two. So that I was eating for my mom and that I was eating for me. So all of that added up meant that I gained a lot of weight. And one moment I was like a stick figure, and the next like some swimming, and the next I was like 200 pounds, um, with with a shaved head and everything. So, um, but I don't know how I lost the weight. I stopped drinking the Coke, soda, cut out the Coke and the soda, cut out the meds that, because I kind of think of meds as like skincare. You don't want to put too much on, or else you're gonna like break out more. Um, so yeah, and then I lost the weight, but there was no regimen. Oh, here she is. There she is in all her glory. I cut my own hair too.
Oh man, I gotta read this even though you just shared that. Um, it says hi, 22-year-old female, sleepwalking, memory loss, or absent seizures. That's the question. See, sleepwalking, memory loss, or absent seizures. 22-year-old female, really new to epilepsy, started at 20 years old, but I notably had had a lot of absent seizures. My wife has witnessed a lot of them and tells me it's like I just fall asleep. But recently I found out that my body still moves around almost subconsciously during them. I have no memory of moving there or typically finding myself not far away from where I last remember myself. My last one was a few days ago while I was food shopping. I blinked and I found I was in a different aisle and staring at ice cream. My shopping cart was with me and I was gripping onto it. I felt like I gained consciousness while I was staring at it, and then it took me a few seconds to start blinking and actually realize that I had just moved. It's really weird and disorientating. I honestly so scary. I have no memory of moving. My family are worried and scared about letting me walk outside alone in case I decide to cross the road, but I'm not fully aware. I want to know if this is what something someone else is going through or have experienced and how you coped with it, kept yourself safe. I haven't been able to find information about absence seizures, including a person still moving, or have only been given examples of absences making people stay stiff and still. Could this possibly be just issues with memory rather than seizure activity? Mark, how you doing? Um, you guys want to answer that real quick? Sleepwalking and memory issues. I don't necessarily sleepwalk. I just walk. Yeah.
When I do sleep, well, when I do walk at night and, just kind of come to in another room, I don't think it's a seizure unless I have the headache. So I guess I could call it sleepwalking, but it doesn't happen enough for me to be concerned. And I forget things all the time anyway. So I guess I should probably admit that it is a seizure, one of those focal unawares. But not being able to remember something just doesn't concern me anymore. Unless I was actually like in danger long enough to end up outside in the middle of the road, I wouldn't be concerned about not remembering it. And welcome, Mark. Tell us what's going on tonight.
The the thing about the wandering, my bad, Mark, 1 second. The thing about the wandering thing, they asked, what have you done to like help it? I haven't really been able to do much. I just try to stay in a cool position, I guess, and let people know that that's what's actually going on these days because nobody actually knew. And I've walked out with a room full of people, walked right past them. They knew nothing was wrong. I didn't say I was going anywhere. I'm 35 years old. Why should I tell you where I'm going? Um, Situations like that, which are very bad. Yeah. Somebody was saying get deadbolts on my room door. It's not going to work because I have to go to the bathroom. Um, But yeah, I don't know what to do because getting a nanny cam is not going to help me. I'm going to walk right past that camera. But otherwise, what do you guys suggest? Should I get a is it the little thing to block the door, the little
Alarm.
gate?
Hobbit alarm. My dad had a CPI security so he could set the alarm, and then when I forget and just go, hey, I'm gonna go to the neighborhood. It goes off and wakes everybody up. But then they don't. Oh, so she ran away.
I mean, before you go for more security, I would suggest baby gates because any obstacle that you have to get past would probably be more likely to help slow you down or, wake you up.
Very true. My dad just put that in because, well, actually, he put it in, I think, because Pookie, thank you. You gave my dad an excuse to get a security system.
Does 3 buses and a train count as obstacles? Because
Mark,
I
your
don't
hair
think
looks
it
even
Oh,
didn't
you
really
gotta
cooler
help.
throw
today.
that back at us.
I was just
So you
thinking
managed
about
to pay for that and everything.
Yeah, I paid for 3 buses. I don't remember that. I don't remember even having money. 3 buses and a train was at least $20. But yeah,
Mark, your hair looks even cooler today.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me when I add barrettes to mine.
Yeah, I like it. We gotta do the one-on-one. I remember you saying that. We'll figure it out. How you
Yeah.
doing? I'm gonna stress you out and give you some stressful questions. What's the best thing that's happened to you
First,
this year?
hold on. First. Hey, Kevin, check
Oh yeah, I like
check
the
them
shirt.
out. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I dig
got
it.
a
Yeah.
couple of these so I could get them on and off without getting all tangled up here. But
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
nice and comfy.
Button down.
I
When you
like it.
popped up, the two of you are right next to each other on my screen, so I thought there was two of Kevin for a second, but then I realized it was Mark.
Yeah, you can tell I got the guitar pick here.
Oh
The only
yeah.
way
Kevin
I could
doesn't
be
have the
more
cool
Florida
guitar.
right now is if it was a shark's tooth instead of a guitar pick. But otherwise, I am like peak Florida man, I think.
Mm.
Right up there.
So,
It's kind of giving like 80s Florida. I'm loving it.
I
yeah.
could break out my cool guitar.
Oh,
Yes.
I left my bass at home.
um, Mark, the icebreaker was what's the best thing to happen to you this year?
This year, as in the calendar year 2025, or as in since
We'll go
uh
2025. This year
okay.
of 2025.
Hmm. Well, I'd ask if you could come back to me, but I don't think that's an option right now, is it? I'm kind of like
I mean, I could come back
every,
to you. I got a list of
every
questions to keep going. Something to keep me
uh,
going.
well, okay, I guess I should um man, I'm not good being put on the spot like this. Uh
Okay.
hmm.
I got something here. It says insensitive or not. I took a screenshot of the DMV letter that is coming in the mail today and sent it to a couple close friends. It is a letter that states if I can keep my driver's license or not. I talk to the person every day. I asked him to keep me in his thoughts, and this is how the conversation went. Me. This is the motor vehicle decision letter that is coming in the mail about my driver's license. Keep me in your thoughts. Him. Keep you in your thoughts. This can be a great teaching moment. Calm down and worrying and feeling like the results in your favor. Feel green, and it will be so. I feel like keeping you in your thoughts to be insensitive and dismissive. He said I took it the wrong way, but I blocked his number, at least temporarily. Am I wrong? I feel like most people don't understand how much a seizure disorder and other associated disorders affect your life and how you have to come to terms with these things. Is that insensitive? I think that's no, just being a nice friend, you know. I don't exactly know how it was said, but
How hard is it to say "yes, I will"?
yeah.
Yeah, but blocking the person was a really extreme thing, but I guess if that's what they need for their mental health, then whatever.
I take it like his friend was like, keep you in my thoughts. That's what I maybe took it like it sounded instead of sounding so bad. I'll read it again how I thought. Keep you in my thoughts. This can be a great teaching moment for you. Calm down and worrying and feel safe about your results. Yeah, when I say it like that, it doesn't seem that bad, but he could have taken it a different way. Of course, he did. It's not insensitive, but yeah, blocking his number sounds kind of petty, especially when you say temporarily. You guys, how insensitive does that sound?
Very.
Angel looks asleep.
I think based
Did we
based
lose
on the
Angel?
blocking number, I wouldn't plan on, calling that one a friend again. Especially since they blocked your number. It's like they want it on their terms of like when to bring you back in their life. So they're not going to be there for you. Don't bother.
Yeah, I think this person just wanted that person to be so happy at this specific moment, maybe. The person wasn't excited. How should I celebrate my small strokes that they found in my MRI? Lifelong epileptic. Sorry to admit my sin. I smoke. I live in very constrained life. I exercise almost every day, eat healthy, 3 AEDs, 2 antidepressants, all recommended supplements. I don't work. I have about 24 absence seizures and a tonic-clonic per year, very limited social life. I just have a rough year that probably caused the ischematic events. My life was all my life was and will be full of restrictions, plus the medications, and the drains our energy and destroys our memory, plus the depression. Every 2 weeks a seizure occurs and reminds us how vulnerable we are. I know I must quit smoking, but how do you digest that you had a small stroke? Fuck epilepsy every day, all day. How do you celebrate?
Hey, they caught it.
Huh?
Ischemic?
They caught it.
Yeah, to catch the
That
stroke.
sounds great. The fact that they actually were able to catch it.
True.
Yeah, I pray I never have a stroke. Yeah, got some friends who did that.
Ischemic? Or hemorrhagic?
Mm.
There are
Skin
three
events?
types. Three types of strokes.
I don't think they said what type.
I thought they said
I think it's just a mini. I don't remember. Pookie, what does it say?
It just says, celebrate my strokes that the MRI found.
Oh.
You can have strokes that haven't presented themselves yet.
Yes.
Hmm.
They are found with the dead brain tissue.
Oh.
Now, I hope I remember that.
Oh, that's way too long. One of these support ones. A friend has epilepsy, and I want to support him during tough times. Any advice? He just got out of the hospital today, had 2 seizures after getting out. He's my best friend, and I want to support him as much as I can. Any tips or advice?
That's such a wholesome post, considering some of the other ones.
Mm-hmm. I want to support him, and he got out today. Support me. I just be there. There's nothing much you can do for unless you're bigger than me. Can't coddle me. None of that. Just be there. Be a friend.
And let them know. You know,
Learn
don't just wait there by the phone, but let them know that you're there or whatever.
Yeah, somebody to talk to helps. Believe me.
Maybe like learn some epilepsy, or I mean, some seizure first aid, I guess.
My mom took a seizure first aid class when, well, there was a mandatory one when one of the higher ups, family members had a seizure. And all of a sudden it was now mandatory for everyone to have seizure training. But my mom also just took it once she found out I had like epilepsy for real. So yeah,
That's what someone else said. Learn seizure first aid so you know what to do if this happens again. That's a good one. Help with transportation. It's very hard on some of us who aren't allowed to refuse to drive again. Nice of you to care and take care of him. I mean, I wouldn't say that's the best thing. Help with transportation. You can be a friend, but don't like make that person burden that person, I would say. It says, I would grab his favorite food and drink and watch funny movie with him. Sometimes it's better to take your mind off for a couple hours.
Take him to Chipotle.
Ah, right. Or get him some of those barbecue wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, those wings, you make them sound amazing.
The other day
They
was
were,
National.
they're best like right when they're the freshest to get the crunch, you know. They still taste the same leftover, but it's just not the same experience.
Wings or drums?
The other day was National Chicken
Oh,
Finger Day,
boneless actually.
and Cane's was having a promotion for National Chicken Finger Day where you would get 1 free chicken finger with your meal. Just one. Just
Yeah,
one free.
they're already
Just
expensive enough, but yeah.
That's awesome.
You can get 1 free chicken finger. And they sold it like they kind of They definitely got me for a second where I was like, oh my God, I get a free box of chicken wings if I buy a box of chicken fingers. If I buy a box of chicken fingers, but my mom's like, no, it says you have to buy a full box, and then you get one free chicken finger with it. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's not National Chicken Finger Day. That ripped me off.
Singular chicken finger day.
That's a weird promotion.
Can I just get one chicken finger then? And the cane sauce? Like, that should be the promotion. Everyone can have one chicken finger.
Yeah, you should say that before I get there. Yeah, because there is one at the corner, and I did not know that. Maybe because I only edit videos and don't leave the house, but I digress.
It was actually, I saw it as an ad on the TV. So,
yeah, when I'm editing videos, commercials don't pop up. I'm
well,
just playing.
maybe they would if you believed in them, like Santa Claus.
Does that
I
mean
stopped
if I
believing in
stop
Santa.
believing in commercials, I won't have to see them popping up?
I wish. I wish. I really do.
I got something. How do I cope when people do nothing? Recently, I got screwed over by my brain and had my first TC in a couple of years. Luckily, short, uninjured, and got to recover at home. The next day, I was spending some time with friends because I don't make smart decisions post seizure and started feeling an aura. I told them I started looking for my meds in absolute panic. I was crying in fear, and they didn't even look up, didn't even do a damn thing to help or comfort me, just acted like it wasn't happening. They know all about my seizures. I trusted these people. We have to have so much trust that people will help us, and I really thought I could count on them. I don't know how to talk to them about this or if I even should. Maybe this is a cut loses maybe this cut loses scenario, but it really hurts to be abandoned because people don't want to bother with something such like this. How do I move forward or move on? Those are not friends. They're sitting here watching you and you're telling them what's going on. Those are not your friends.
Wait, what happened? Did they have a tonic clonic?
I think he said, or she said, an aura. I told them and started looking for my meds, and I was crying, and they didn't even look up. That's the messed up part. Like, you make it sound like they just didn't do shit.
Okay, yeah, if they didn't really try and help you out at all, that's kind of being a lame friend. But other than helping you look for your meds, I don't really know what else they're supposed to do. I personally, just growing up, how I was raised, was taught not to put my baggage on other people. So I never really expect my friends to know exactly what to do if I'm having a seizure. I do let them know, if we're hanging out, I'm like, here's what to do just in case. I just give them the basics, the rundown, just in case, because it can happen. But I tell them too, if something does happen, it's not your fault. I put no weight of my illness on you. So I don't know, maybe they just were being asshole friends and leaving the person out. And then that's just pretty shitty of the friends. But also don't always, not that they have the expectation, but just for other people, it's easier not to expect people to know what to do or to expect them to be there for you, because of an illness. People are still people. And
Yeah, I think the more I feel like I need you there, the more it's going to hurt when you're not there.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't want to like push people away because that can get kind of confusing in the head. I know it gets confusing for me, but um definitely having that area in your head of independence where you're like, this is my illness, and at the end of the day, like I don't expect these people, especially like it sounds like the person might be young, and the people that they're around are probably young, maybe teenagers. So teenagers are
I hope so.
young, and yeah, because I know if it was my friends, I know that they would definitely be like, "Where's your meds?" Um, and I know my one friend would drive me if I needed to get my meds, and but we're like, we're in our, um, she's in her early 20s and stuff, so our brains are developed a little more and whatnot. Not fully, obviously, still early in it, but it sounds like the person is also like maybe younger. I'm hoping younger in it because then your friends are just kind of like old assholes, and that's even worse than being a young asshole. So, um, yeah, but maybe I think also maybe finding some coping skills when you're having an aura in public or something too, so that you don't feel like you have to depend on other people to comfort you. Um, is a really good tool to have. Um, and not in a demeaning way or anything, not saying that it's not okay to lean on people or to ask for help, but it's also a really powerful tool to be able to lean on yourself and be able to preserve your energy and keep yourself calm and be there for yourself.
I mean, that confidence is definitely a major part of being able to recover faster.
Yeah, I think and that's definitely something you have to learn going through it. It doesn't just come. So it's not just an overnight, like, here you go. Like, it's super, super easy. Like, I'm still learning how to deal with it and whatnot. And it's really hard. So it's, it takes time. It's not an overnight thing, and it's not easy.
Right.
If anyone tries to tell you it's just a piece of cake, then you could tell them to bake it, slice it, and serve it. So,
Yeah. And the question that they first ask is, how do you cope when people do nothing? The coping part, I kind of just, I kind of notice if you're a good friend before, like, I get the vibe sometimes. I think I get good vibes and I push people away before I feel like you're not going to be a good person. Usually I'm right. Um, but yeah, I don't let myself be in stressful situations with people like that. And all my friends who aren't around now, they were really good when they weren't around. They knew how to handle the seizures and they weren't scared and they weren't always calling the ambulance and so on. Um,
I
but
think some people just aren't like mentally equipped to like deal with those things with like friends or something.
oh yeah, kids these days
Yeah, I think like some people
die.
just aren't the like there's just gonna be some people that they may be good people, but they aren't like they just aren't mentally able to deal with what we're dealing with, even if they're not dealing with it firsthand. They
Some
just
good people aren't meant to be good friends.
yeah, like some people just don't mesh, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that either one of you are bad. It just means that you guys don't have to be friends. Simple. You'll
I
find
just
your
still find it impressive that those of you who can, read people, who get a good understanding or impression of how somebody's going to react in a situation before you get to that point. That would be such a useful skill that I never really developed, so it's easier to, once
I'm
again,
right
err on the
with
side of
there.
caution and, let those people go before they have a chance to fail.
I'm with you, Mom. My mom stops me. She's like, stop talking to strangers. Stop it. You don't know them, but she has really cool shoes. That doesn't mean you have to stop her. Okay,
I
sorry.
I also I've also put myself in horrible situations with people that are awful people. And people that I just don't mesh with and end up having to live with, and that's not good. Um, roommates, bad roommates, not good situation. Not bad people, just bad roommates. Um, but I think, maybe you kind of, you don't always learn how to read people, but you kind of learn who your people are.
Well, don't you learn more about yourself in those situations too, looking back and you remember
Yeah.
how you're telling yourself the whole time you're living there that you're helping them. Like they need you and
Well, yeah, and
you find the most
sometimes
ridiculous ways to cope.
sometimes I'd sit back and I'd be really struggling, and I'm looking around, and I'd stop crying for a minute, and I'd just kind of look around. These people are all just doing lines of drugs or on their phone or doing something else or saying I'm faking it, and I'm just where am I? Who are you guys? Who do you even think you are? Because I can do better than this. We can do better than this, and we will digress and whatever. I recently have felt like my mom hasn't really been there for me, the way that she has in the past when I was a kid. And I think it might be just a changing into adulthood thing, and the fact that my grandmother passed away and she just kind of retracts into herself and pushes everyone away, which includes me. And so I feel I've had a seizure, and I also had that day I had to walk home because she got in an argument. We got in an argument. She wouldn't listen to me about my seizures, and I just feel like she really isn't with me with the seizures and epilepsy. So I feel really alone in the sense of with my mom. I know she's there for me to support me and keep me safe and whatnot, but she doesn't really, unless it's dire, she doesn't really show too much interest in it, in a sense of when I told her I had a seizure the night of the move. She was just kind of okay, brushed it off. There was no no worry or anything, but I guess I shouldn't really expect her to go into crazy worry mode or anything or whatever. But or when I walked home, she never really asked me if I was okay or anything, and that hurt. But I have to remind myself that at the end of the day, things happen between people, and just because I have this illness doesn't mean all the time. But I don't really know. But I just kind of remind myself that
Love and friendship are bonds that can break like any other.
I think my roommate is faking seizures. Hello, I'm reaching out because I feel stuck and I don't know what to do. As someone who doesn't suffer from seizures, I have been trying to thoroughly educate myself on this disorder, as I have the gut feeling my roommate might be faking it. Please hear me out and don't think I am a horrible person. I just truly need honest opinions from those who struggle from this. Here's what I have gathered: knows when seizures are coming and never falls before I am able to get to her. No bodily fluids, foam at the mouth or urine. Seizure presents as grand mal, but she always managed to protect her airway, not go face down. Told me that going up the stairs exertion triggers him, but has started going to the gym and has never had one there. On absolutely no medication for them, nor does she have appointments with her doctor ever. I know this because she can't drive. Completely normal after them, doesn't seem disorientated or confused, always wakes up before paramedics arrive, adamantly about never calling an ambulance. Seizures always occur when the attention is not on her. Things are not going her way in public spaces. Other attention seeking behaviors and lies. I have caught her. Does this sound like she may be trying to fool me?
I mean, up until the very last bits about attention seeking, none of that really stood out as being not seizure or like a red flag to me. All of it actually has been stuff that I've experienced or done myself. Like,
She could be
you know,
downplaying too,
yeah,
so that you don't
yeah.
call the paramedics. Because I know, like, I always ask people not to call the paramedics because it's just another charge on the bill.
I have no ambulance needed on my medical ID bracelet.
Yeah, unless it goes over like the whatever. But you know, she could be downplaying it, and also like the original poster said they don't have epilepsy, so they don't. They can educate themselves on it, you know, through, you know, I'm assuming online is how you're educating yourself. I'm assuming you're not going to the library, but could be doing that too. I don't know. You could educate yourself on it a lot, but actually experiencing it is a whole other thing. My mom educated.
Not suggested, by the way. Don't recommend to people go out and have a seizure.
Yeah, don't do that for fun, or for like attention. That's not cool, and you kind of just look silly afterwards. You're gonna end up looking funny, you know. But I don't know. It sounds like, I don't know. Maybe she and the
I mean, the no bodily fluids and like no foaming at the mouth. I've never wet myself during a tonic clonic.
I've only
I
wet myself
don't,
once.
yeah, I don't have much, if any, drool.
Yeah,
Um,
I've only bit my
like,
tongue a couple times. Usually I'm biting my cheeks.
The only
yeah,
red
I'm
flag for
usually
me
able to
was,
get myself like down to the floor
No
and
medication was the only red flag for me.
yeah, my red flag was only no medication and doesn't see a doctor.
yeah,
Obviously, if you
well,
don't see a doctor, you would not have medication, so that goes hand in hand. Um, but
I was not seeking medical help for my tonic clonics for a while after I started having them. Um, After I had started tracking seizures, but so I don't know. Not everybody
yeah, I
is is
I
A lot
always
of it's
and
attitude without knowing the person
yeah,
themselves. We
I
can't
think
tell.
that's what I was gonna say too with the post. It sounds like maybe they might have something going on between the two of them. Um, because I I mean, her adding in that she only has seizures when something isn't going her way or something like that or whatever could be, um that that could really be true or false. We don't know that. And that would really be
that
kind
would
of a
be
deal
a
breaker.
stressful time for
Yeah.
her,
I
and
mean,
that could
if she needs all
trigger.
eyes on her, then I guess
I mean, some people
if that.
do.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
if you need all the attention and if you don't get it, that's gonna lead you to a seizure. Then I don't recommend being friends with me, but
Get a new roommate if that's
Right.
what you really
maybe
It's that
live stream
bad.
thing, you know? Yeah. If you got attention needing, I don't know. But yeah, she could be downplaying it. She could be playing it, or you know,
Yeah,
there could
for sure.
be medical trauma. We really don't know the full story. I know, like, for me, there's some like things that I don't want to get done that I have to get done, but I just don't want to get them done because of like medical trauma and because I'm just scared of that now and whatnot. And I want to like avoid it because I'm tired of, diagnosis and meds. Like, there was a point in my life where I was like, I'm done. I'm never taking any medications again, no matter what. I don't care if I get fucking cancer or something. I'm just gonna die. Obviously, that's not the case now. So, but people get people get tired, especially young people get tired being on medications, especially one so strong. So I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, maybe ask her family if she's had seizures, if you really think she's faking it. But just because she doesn't see a doctor, doesn't have medicine, doesn't mean that she's faking the seizures. She could just be avoiding them by
Correct.
not directly getting help, avoiding the actual cause. I have done that.
Raven, did you have something? I seen your mic come off mute.
Oh, nope.
Oh,
Just hanging out.
all right. Got one here. I hear Toaster say this a lot. Jamais vu. Did I say it right?
Jamais vu, yeah.
Jamais vu. So technically, my doctors ruled out epilepsy as the cause for my symptoms, but I still get jamais vu up to 12 times a day, and I know that jamais vu is a common symptom of epilepsy, so I figured this was the best place to come with this. Most of the time, it's not so bad. Like lately, been getting it for about 2 years now. I'm pretty desensitized to the milder episodes, but sometimes it's really strong and I need a few minutes to recover. Those really strong ones make me feel like I physically left my body for a few seconds, and it can be kinda, for lack of better words, stressful. Those kinds, those of you who experience jamais vu with your episodes, what helped you deal with it? I don't exactly know what it is yet. I heard about a lot about it, just never looked it up.
I think it's the feeling that it's like the opposite of deja vu. And so it's like the feeling that something is new and you've never done it before, even though you have done it before. So, like going into your own bathroom and like feeling like you've never been there before.
It's also associated like with a third person, if that makes any sense. Like as you said, walking to the bathroom, but you're experiencing yourself walking into the bathroom. That didn't make sense. Fuck. Never
Yeah,
mind.
I think so. It's like a
Yeah,
hard
like a
concept to even grasp.
dissociative sense, sort of. Tester.
Kinda. I also know it as a like I know exactly what's going to happen, like the split second before my hand touches the counter or something like that.
Precognition, kind of, almost.
Almost. But it's only like a few seconds.
Not as useful as precognition.
Yes, no, nowhere near as useful as that. If the one of our friends did have that, he's like, you know what? I'm going to marry this girl one day. And guess what he did? He married her.
My dad did that with my mom. How do these people know?
I have no idea.
Toaster, I thought you were gonna say it was you. I thought you were gonna say
Oh God, yeah, no. Oh,
triggered. I'm just playing.
yeah, triggered. I thought for sure, like this is my soulmate. This is my soulmate. Oh, fuck, he ended up being a bastard. Raised in hell.
I know the feeling.
It's like my soulmate is a monster. What does that make me?
Monster tamer?
There was no taming that shit. I got out.
And somebody used to tell me, "You are the company you keep." So
Yeah, I'm a monster. Frankenstein's got nothing on me.
So the next one is, I was going to read the comments, and someone said, "How do they rule out epilepsy? It's pretty difficult to rule out." And the person said, "EEG. When it's epilepsy, the brain waves show electrical something. That's how they explained it to me." Gotta get second opinions these days.
Oh yeah, particularly if it's a short one. You want the longer EEG you get, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says that's temporal lobe epilepsy. Get a second opinion. They've tried to blow me off when I was having intense deja vu and fear followed by jaundice vu for like a week. Had a full seizure a year later. Don't wait. Yeah, I like that one. Don't wait. Feel like I'm going crazy. Feel like I'm genuinely going crazy, and in my head, it's just going to shut down. There's just been too much going on at once. I have I have depression and anxiety on top of epilepsy. During my period, all these things get worse, and my living situation continues to get worse as well. I'm having tonic-clonics during my sleep again, so I'm going to have to go up on the meds. I have focal aware auras during the end of the day. Of course, cataminio seizures too. I don't have a consistent job right now, even though I'm actively applying. And if I get an interview sometimes, it's so exhausted from epilepsy that I have to cancel. My living situation is just a mess. Our house is infested with everything you can think of, and my family is not in a rush to move. I'm literally considering asking my friends if I can shower at their place because our bathrooms barely work and it takes so much extra energy out of me to take care of myself at this house. My goal is to move out by June, and I'm so scared that that's not going to happen. I turned 26 in April, and I need insurance, but I can't find a job. I know I can use state insurance, but it's not that great for my situation. I'm having all these other issues health wise, and I need to make an appointment for for health issues. And of course, I can't drive, so I have to get an Uber or Lyft, and that takes all my money. The family gives me 200 almost every 2 weeks, and that's for me to Instacart groceries and all of us. And I don't know what to do. What do I do to not feel like I'm going crazy?
Accept the
I'll
craziness. Accept the craziness and take the next step forward. Get yourself out of the bad living situation first and foremost. And don't fucking worry about, because I bet she's worried about doctor bills and all that shit. You're not going to go to jail because of a doctor visit. They're not going to do that. But you got to get the help.
Since she knows the insurance is going to have to change, make the doctor's appointments that you need, but ask the providers when you make the appointment, do you also take Medicaid? Or if you know you're going to go back on one of the managed care plans that is like one of those substitutes for Medicaid that a lot of states have, ask the providers that you're making an appointment with what insurance they take, if they take any of those, so that you have a plan in place that you don't have to drop and switch all providers when you do get the insurance you need in a couple months. But yeah, the living situation sounds like the priority to me too.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do. I don't think I'd have to find somewhere else because I can't do that infestation. And then it sounds like, yeah, it's infestation, and then you can't even shower there. Shelter. Um, some people feel like they're too big to go to a shelter. In that situation, shelters sound cleaner. Never really been to one. Um,
Also infested.
uh,
Yeah, not necessarily safe, depending on your gender, especially.
No, the women's shelter in Vegas is basically just a whorehouse.
Yeah.
yeah, so that was a female. So yeah, you said safe for different. Hmm. I'm so sorry you guys have to go through that stuff.
I'm here with you today.
And that's what counts.
Yes.
Yeah, I love you guys. Someone says something that we all probably wouldn't agree with anyway, but it says, I'm getting scared to drive. Lately, female, 20 years old, I've been having lots of panic attacks while driving. They've been happening more and more frequently since I almost went into a seizure while driving by myself. About 3 weeks ago, I was driving with my buddy home. Then on my way back, my body froze while I was driving for almost 5 seconds, which I know doesn't seem long, but it felt like a lot longer in person. And that was pretty scary. I got much anxiety. My heart started beating fast. It was so. It was also hurting my chest. I had to call my sister and my roommate to come back me up, since they were only about 3 minutes away. While I was waiting, I was sitting in the car on my phone with my mom because I was like 90% sure I was going to have another seizure, and I didn't want to be alone when it happened. Soon enough, my roommate showed up to drive my car back home, but ever since then, I will get in and get in my head every time I drive, thinking myself I'm freezing up like I was going to have a seizure right now, and it gets so bad that I actually have to pull over sometimes. It's been really bad lately, and it's always have my friends drive my car instead of me. It's like a far drive, even though it isn't. I know this is a lot, but I really don't know who else to call or talk to, since I don't have any appointments with my doctor till next year, and just really confused. This has never happened before, and now it just won't go away. Has this ever happened to anyone else before? Um, no, I just choose not to drive after my last accident or incident or collision with the wall.
I can make an analogy. I had so many seizures in high school that I can't go back into a school without feeling panic. Oh my God, I'm going to have a seizure. I think maybe the car might be the same type of trigger,
Yeah, and
and
I
you should stop driving.
yeah,
Me, yeah,
Bathroom break.
Yeah.
bathroom.
That's
I
when you guys all know each other. Nobody knew.
I even said like earlier like that the I think driving triggers my like app absent seizures or like
The scenery is just so pretty to stare at one spot while it
yeah,
goes past
yeah, like
different colors.
and I think like the speed of the car, and sometimes I start to try and think about, sometimes when I'm in the car I try and pretend that I'm driving, and it never ends up good. I always end up like freaking out in my head and getting overwhelmed, and then I end up zoning the fuck out for like most of the car ride. But
Me and my mom jam out to Jimmy Buffett music. What's funny is my sibling, they can't drive either for a completely different reason. But as a passenger, it doesn't matter if it's 3 minutes down the road or 3 hours. They are asleep within 30 seconds of the car starting to drive. And that's because that's how my mom got them to sleep when they were a baby.
Oh my God, I have that problem for that same reason.
I've
Yeah.
heard that kids falling asleep like on the back of motorcycles. Because
goodbye, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
How'd that happen? You fell asleep on the back of a motorcycle? And Raven, I heard you say I did the same thing.
Oh, I have the
came
same
back.
problem of falling asleep. Even if I'm the driver, I would have a problem staying awake. And it's like, I even fell asleep in driver's ed. Like, it was bad. And it's just because my parents put me in the car and drove around to get me to stop crying when I was a baby.
It's the same reason why swings are actually so fascinating to kids and comforting, is because, well, when you're a child, you get rocked when you need comfort. So, what's the best thing on the playground? The swings.
I used to
It's the same concept.
do flips off the swings.
Oh, well, so did I. You
And like rap
doing parkour.
time. Yeah. I used to go nuts on the swings. Like I had 7 lives. Yeah. They gave me some pretty nasty bruises, but you know, me and my best friend were there every day.
Yeah. That and the soccer nets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that it was like
I'm
2 blocks away from my house.
grateful that I grew up before all of the social media. I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, I was like right at the edge.
Right at the peak of technology, of like not a technology but a future of like the technology takeover.
Yeah,
So,
futurism.
yeah, of the world, like the new age, I guess. And because I remember it used to just be like you hop on the OG Roblox or the OG.
The fact that you just said OG Roblox tells me how young you are.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, you're not thinking like the sound of a dial-up modem.
Listen, I'm
We
talking
are
about
different times.
I'm talking about my timeline. I'm talking about my timeline here, okay? The OG Roblox.
I'm teasing.
We didn't have social media like that. Okay, it wasn't social media like that for my era, or at least for
Do
me.
you remember AOL?
Growing up,
The fact that you can make me feel old in this group.
Listen, I did use a lot on Omegle. I went on Omegle a lot.
You ever use a payphone?
I have used a payphone before.
Okay.
Have you ever used a rotary
Remember the
phone?
invention of the
I
internet.
used to watch Tom and Jerry and
Have you used a 56K modem?
I don't know. I don't know what a lot of things are, though, to be fair.
Did you have to blow inside your Game Boy cartridge to get it to work?
No, I had to blow inside of my DS, though.
Okay, same concept.
Yeah, the DS, and then they came out with the 3D DS, and then the 3D DDS or some shit. It was like touchscreen. Oh my god, this shit is to die for. And that was
my Jeffy was like, it's called a Switch, Ema. It's like it's a Game Boy.
I remember my
Switch,
mom.
still a Game Boy.
You know what? Maybe this is the reason for my seizures. My mom, one time, we were playing Wii on the Wii, you know, the OG Wii OG, and we were playing tennis, and we all know how tennis goes. So she ended up like knocking me over like full blown to get the last swing and win the game. And he completely knocked me upside the head, and I flew off the bed, um, and knocked my head.
Oh,
Maybe that's
jeez.
have seen.
I learned I got kicked in the head by a horse when I was 8.
That's awful. Horses kicking you is not good.
I was
Mm.
wearing a helmet.
I used
I think the funniest part is the horse's name was High Hopes.
that is funny. I used my uncle. Well, he's not my like direct uncle, but he was like my great uncle or something. But no one liked him. We all called him
It's
Uncle.
okay. Uncle is still an acceptable term.
His name was Richard, so everyone called him Dick because he was a dick. But we got kicked in the head by a horse
Uncle Dick.
going to school, so I used him being kicked in the head as by a horse and him like dying as an excuse to not be in school and to leave school early. And then he ended up surviving, and I had to like explain to my teachers that he survived. I was like, yeah,
It's a miracle.
he pulled through. Guess I can come back to school. I didn't even know him. He actually pointed a shotgun at us once because he didn't know
Oh,
who we.
fuck.
Yeah, he was nuts.
Right.
Crazy Jersey guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna move to the next one.
Yes, before we get
Sorry.
all.
So
No, that's awesome.
it says dorming. Going back to school now that I have been diagnosed with epilepsy. This time around, I'm wondering if dorming is for me or not. Before my diagnosis, I stayed in a one-bedroom dorm all to myself. Then the next year, I had my own room and a shared apartment style dorm with friends. I'm wondering if I'm having my own room will be an issue, even with a roommate. Why is their job to save me from a seizure? I don't know. Why is it their job? You're asking yourself that. Dorming, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't stay by myself. And I really like to know somebody if I am dorming with them. I don't want to be a burden on them instantly. And we're in college.
Oh, dorming with someone's not bad. I mean, you're not going to be sleeping in the same bed with them.
Yeah,
If
and
it's anything like my daughter's dorm when she went to college, it's bed on one side, bed on the other. And then the next year was actually one bedroom, shared bathroom, kitchen area, another um uh mm, bedroom. There we go. That's the word. Um and I mean they were living together. They still had privacy, but I still don't see the reason why not to have the double room scenario where you're actually sharing a room with someone. You just, hey, you say, is this is what I am. This is what happens to me.
well, and honestly,
It will freak you out.
I think both scenarios are fine for the person. I mean, depending on their epilepsy, but like for me, I think that I mean, at least from what I know, like I'm comfortable enough if I were. I mean, I'm alone like 90% of my life, so um, that would mean
Animals not included.
yeah, well, animals included. Um, but I have a lot of seizures by myself. Like most of my grand mal seizures I've had by myself. Um, or I've also had grand mal seizures with friends. Um, and it's just something that happens, but it's not necessarily you putting that burden on them. It's just you having a seizure. It'd be like you having an asthma attack. Kind of, sort of, kind of.
They're both life-threatening,
Yeah,
and neither one truly need an ambulance if you have what you need on hand.
yeah, like if you can get to your inhaler quick enough, and you should have that by you though, and but like if you're having the epilepsy, and it sounds like they've gone through 1 year okay. So if they're still doing all right, then give it a try. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. You know, it's okay.
Don't be afraid to be a burden.
Yeah, I go swimming. I swim with no lifeguard, and my just because there's no lifeguard there, so I don't. I'm not gonna be like I need a lifeguard because I have epilepsy. I need you guys there right now, right now. No, I
Like
just
swimming sounds so cool.
I just swim, and I do it because I'm confident when I swim. I'm comfortable when I swim, and I know I can do it, and I'm capable of it. Bless you.
There's
And
a
Could you
there's
teach me
a
to surf?
right over there is a water park, Universal Studios
so,
Volcano Bay, right
oh,
there.
is that like Splash Mountain?
I
Yeah, I
think
messed up.
so, kind of. It's like Universal Studios themed
Is that
water
the
park kind of thing.
Orlando,
Yeah, the Orlando
Florida?
like theme
Yes, I think
park
I've been on
area.
the big
I could
Splash
go and
Mountain.
throw rocks and start hitting tourists if
I'm
it was
not
daylight.
okay. I would probably
Splash
that would be so.
Splash Mountains, I think, is Disney.
That probably is. I
It's a
think
big log ride. You go up and you go up, and then you go down, and then if you're stupid as my dad to put his poncho on upside down, you get soaked.
oh, well, I didn't
No,
even
seriously, he was like a walking puddle.
interesting.
He,
Yeah,
he
I
only wanted to keep his pants dry. He wanted to get his shirt wet. Didn't work out.
my mom took me to Disney, and I just wanted to play at the hotel pool the entire time.
Yeah.
How old
They
were
have
you?
nice.
I think I was 8.
Oh.
So I wasn't interested in Disney. I was interested in the hotel pool. And she was like, I could have just taken you to somewhere in New Jersey. I was like, well, it was a surprise. You didn't tell me that you were taking me to a pool. She's like, I wasn't taking you to a pool. I was taking you to Disney World.
I got to go. My dad works for or worked. He's retired. Congratulations, Abba. For a university, and they do like conferences for all these universities. And one year it took place at Disney World. We got to stay at the Contemporary. It's the
Ooh,
one that has the monorail going through it. That was
yeah,
fun.
the fancy one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got to stay in that one. I don't remember which one it was there. It was one of those in the Disney resort area that my cat Poofy was rescued from. It's
Oh,
probably not the Contemporary though. That's not really like a stray cat friendly area.
What weird question, but what airline do you guys prefer?
Delta.
Okay. Calm
the
down.
cheapest one I could
That's
find. But I understand Delta. I get the joke now. It took me a moment.
Oh no, I mean seriously, Delta Airlines.
Oh, well, the
what?
different type of flying high. Sorry.
Yeah, Delta Airlines. You get the little.
Oh,
They got a room
oh,
where you can
Oh,
sit.
oh.
the stoners
That's
didn't even get
amazing.
You can sit in the room and you don't have to sit with everybody else and wait for your flight. And there's nice chairs and yeah, they have a Delta room at the airports with Delta
okay.
members.
Okay, so we got Pookie with Delta real quick.
And their Wi-Fi is free.
Okay.
I haven't flown in so long, I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
But I want to do it again because I remember it was fun.
Yeah, I
Well,
flew American Airlines and their Wi-Fi was $10 and it was trash.
okay.
I think I just went to sleep anyway.
Kate?
I definitely haven't flown in long enough to tell you a preferred airline, but now I
Hey,
know I'm partial to Delta.
Mark.
I mean, I flew like domestically, Southwest, which I liked because you got to pick your own seat. You got a
That's what I was
number,
gonna say.
like
Southwest
the order, the
best.
boarding order, and then you get to pick. But I've only ever flown internationally once, and it was Lufthansa, and it was a pretty good flight for what it is. I got the middle row in a Boeing 747, and that sucked. So don't don't sit in the middle row.
Did I miss anyone?
I didn't have an opinion because I don't fly either.
Okay, well, you're a Raven, so
You fly on your own. You have a
yeah.
broom that does that.
That's true. There you
Angel,
go.
is Angel there?
Angel, you there? Come on, buddy. You're usually the last one here with me, and you're usually awake.
It's okay, I'll remember
He's
it.
flying on wings we can't see.
Mine, he's currently on cloud 9.
He's
Mine
flying the Escopri.
is Southwest as well. I love and swear by Southwest. I've been flying Southwest since I was an unaccompanied minor.
So,
Nice.
what prompted this question?
Because people, I find, I didn't think that you guys would because we're epileptics, and a lot of epileptics don't fly or don't fly often. But I do know that within like people in the business community or for people who fly a lot or for business and whatnot, they are very like, I only fly this airline, or they're it's kind of
Uh,
a sports team, or having a sports team. Some people are very like they'll
yeah.
only fly this. Like my aunt will only fly in first class. She has to be first class. So, but for me, I like Southwest. I love Southwest. They have a great record. I like that I can sit all the way in the back and I can choose my seat. Um,
Yeah.
and I find that it's very cheap. It's very easy. Um, breezy, beautiful cover girl. I love it. Love Southwest. I
I'm
think it's great.
pretty sure that that's what my guy flies. He has to travel a lot for business. And I think he's always, always, always Southwest.
Southwest is the best. Everyone's equally seated.
Nice.
I love picking window seats on Delta. I get to pick my seat. They give you free headphones to watch movies, and they have a big selection of movies. They're
If you
free.
sit in the front, you're more likely to get killed if the plane goes down.
I don't think like that, Lufa. I just think
Okay.
I'm gonna get there.
Okay,
Right.
so go for the front. That way I die quickly. Got it.
When I go to
That's
the
what I was
east, it's
thinking
usually
too.
when I go to the East Coast, it's usually go from San Francisco here to Atlanta, and then to the tri-state area. Seems like
Wait, tri-state area. That sounds familiar.
York.
New York, New Jersey, and
Okay.
I forgot the other one.
Mm.
Who
Another
cares?
one.
Everything's state.
Massachusetts.
Another state. Meh.
I know
Who's that one?
tri-state means three, so
It's the little
yeah,
one.
third one.
It's the little
Pennsylvania.
one.
The
Delaware or
Roy.
Rhode Island or
Kate
It's
got
Rhode
it.
Connecticut.
Island.
Kate got it done
Oh,
in the
Rhode
chat.
Island.
Pennsylvania.
Isn't it Rhode Island? Or is it
My
Pennsylvania?
mom was.
New
Yeah,
York, New
you have
Jersey,
to.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you
I was
go.
You have
between
to
Pennsylvania
pronounce it
and
right. It's Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Island. Rhode Island.
Row
Oh, it's
as in the
Pennsylvania.
Greek
Oh, okay.
letter, and then
Island.
Dyland as
Yes.
in the land of Dye.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Rhode Island. That's how she pronounces it. And she's from Rhode Island, so I
Actually,
believe her.
I
there's
got
a
something about flying since we were on the flying one. Says seizures and flying. I want advice based on recent medical conditions. On September 10th, 2023, I experienced first seizure at the age of 20 after staying awake for an entire night. I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep that night, and then I went for a movie. The seizure occurred around 10:30 a.m. during a movie theater interval, and the starting time of the movie was 8:05 a.m. I got a tonic-clonic seizure with no clonic phase involved. I guess my likely triggers or a seizure were sleep deprivation, sensory overstimulation from the movie, dehydration, and anxiety. Since the event, I have had no other reoccurring symptoms. No, I underwent an EEG, MRI, and NCCT, all which came back completely normal. Doctor started my anti-seizure medication, which I took for 3 months, and then I began tapering off from 1st of January 2024, and I completely stopped the medication by the 31st of March in 2024, marking 10 months free from seizure treatment till now. Additionally, in March 23, I underwent a class 1 medical examination and was deemed fit for flying. However, after reporting my seizure history to the DGCA in India, I was declared medically unfit for a period of 2 years as per their guidelines. So my concern is once the unfit period is over, as I am passionate about continuing my career in flying, but I am uncertain if I should proceed with this path based on your advice or experience. Should I consider this provoked seizure an unprovoked seizure? And should I continue to pursue flying or should I shift my focus to an alternative profession? Your guidance will help me and an informed decision about my future. Thanks in advance. Airplanes
That is
fly on autopilot
definitely
these days, so that's a good part.
that would be considered an uncontrolled, like what was the term they
Provoke.
said?
Unprovoked.
Provoked. Yeah, that would be an unprovoked seizure. That when they say provoked, they mean like under
Yeah, it's
medical testing, like trying to cause it, like yeah, yeah.
they can
The
also, sorry,
um the the fact that they stayed up all night until 10 a.m. the next morning isn't really considered a provocation. That's just a sleep deprivation, a part of their life. So if that happens when they are a little sleep deprived, then it could happen under other conditions. So that's what they really mean there. So it's definitely um that's definitely the end of my thoughts on that right now.
Yeah, I don't highly suggest flying. I'm trying to fly career, but to each his own, I guess. I don't know how that works in particular, but
well,
Yeah, it
also
doesn't sound
planes
like they're in
planes
the
also
US.
autopilot these days. So being that they do the autopilot a lot, you might be able to do that. All you got to do is really land and
the thing is, that's actually the most dangerous part is taking off and landing. But the thing with flying is altitude, um, and whatnot. That could, if they're putting themselves at those altitudes and those time differences consistently, which they would be doing if they're flying, they're going to be in different time zones, which, you know, adequates to you're not going to be home a lot. Make sure you always have your meds with you. It's going to get a little confusing and whatnot. But those high altitudes and the time difference is what I would particularly be concerned about, because if you're having a unprovoked seizure um, on the ground level, if you're trying to fly a plane all the time, that and your stress is already provoking your seizures down here. Um, if you're trying to fly people on a plane, it's probably not the best idea. You could fly your own plane and get your own private license and do that by yourself with the awareness that you could potentially crash from having
You're still putting the people on the ground at risk if you're flying over
well
any populated
if you're
areas.
flying in an area that if you're being aware and smart and flying in an area that's not populated and um like the track that you're going down or whatever, then okay, I'm still not gonna I'm not hands behind it, but I can't stop you from your dream, whatever. But I definitely wouldn't recommend flying people across different cities and states and countries because that can really cause some significant damage to your nervous
Some
system.
comments
It's
here.
putting people's lives in your
Yeah,
hands.
you're putting people's lives at risk, and you're also you can still love something from a distance. You don't have to necessarily fly to still enjoy it. You can fly it. You can find a different way too. I always wanted to be an Olympic swimmer. I was really good at the butterfly. I had a really good path going for me, and then I got sick, and it all went down the drain in a second. So, things happen, but I can swim now on my own and love it from a distance and pretend that I'm competing with the old men in the pool when I'm not. Um, and it's, but, you know, I don't know.
I got something, Lufa. It
Don't
says, it's the first comment. It says, sorry to hear that. I was in flight school years ago and I had my first seizure. I was told I could reobtain my medical certification if I wasn't on medication and seizure free for a year. So I guess you could do it if you. Another response said, no, anyone can have a seizure. They're actually not that uncommon. When it becomes epilepsy is when seizures reoccur and you're diagnosed with a seizure disorder. Sometimes there is a known cause for them, such as head injury or a stroke. Other times there is known cause.
Well, I was gonna say too. I was gonna ask if they were diagnosed, but I think I remember them saying they were like 20 or 22. And sometimes that's when some seizures show up. Some epilepsy diagnoses start to show up or peak is around like your teens to 20s. That could be it, or it could just be like a stress-induced seizure as well from lack of sleep or whatever, and lack of water or whatever. Must be really lacking and stuff and really stressed out. So you should probably try and chill out. But
Okay, I got one here. It says, not feeling valid in my diagnosis. This sounds like a good one. A person in my new class has epilepsy. I have temporal lobe epilepsy and haven't met anyone else with epilepsy before. We have different kinds of epilepsy, but I felt like I finally might have someone to talk to who has had a similar experience, but I've been very reluctant to bring it up, and it feels like my diagnosis isn't as severe. And if I bring it up, and it would seem like I'm trying to invalidate her by trying to compare our struggles, or if I bring it up, would seem like I'm trying to redirect the attention to me. This topic has been kind of recurring to me, not feeling like I have real epilepsy, which is in quotes, because some people who don't know who don't know me might not be able to tell when I'm having a seizure. I don't know how I would even bring it up. This person's looking for advice, and I suggest, I don't know. I mean, I just wait for it to come up. I'm not gonna walk up to a person just because they have epilepsy and I have epilepsy. Yeah.
If you're looking for support, you could come here. But the person, I don't know if I would. I mean, no offense to the person, but you're kind of invalidating yourself. No one invalidated you from what it seems like in the first place. So,
Yeah, epilepsy is not a competition.
no, it's not. It should never be. Everyone's is different. Everyone's brain is different. Everyone's epilepsy is different. No one's the same, so it wouldn't be a fair match between anybody. And it's not a match in the first place. It just should be people supporting each other, because it's a disease that's chronic illness that's chronically misunderstood. So, you know,
How much more gas you got in the tank?
I don't know.
What about you? You're the one who's been here the whole time, right?
I have insomnia. I was just gonna say,
I don't drive. I don't have any gas in the tank.
Touche.
Yeah.
I took my my ADHD medication kind of in the afternoon today, which is way past when I'm supposed to take it. So
That's the one you say is like an upper for you, right? It gives you energy.
it's a stimulant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should last for like 7 hours, and I took it at like 2.
So you're tired, is what you're saying?
No.
Uh,
The
No,
opposite.
at 2 p.m. And it lasts for like, well, it, I don't know how to describe it. It like it does its thing for like a little while, and then it starts to wear off. Maybe I do it later. Maybe.
Lufa, what time zone are you in?
1 o'clock.
Central Chicago?
Oh,
Central
okay.
CST? Central?
Okay. Okay.
1 o'clock.
Me too. Me too.
It is 11:59. It's about to be 12.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Where are you?
About to be
I'm
10
in
here.
the Kansas, Missouri area.
Okay. My cousin went to school there.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.